My brother Starsky Wilson, who I know you know very well, has this wonderful conceptualization of blackness in his mind, where he says, there are many African Americans, but not all of us are black. Black is a political identity and a choice that we make. And for some African Americans, the worst possible thing that could happen to them in this lifetime is to be found to be black. God forbid. Ooh, yeah, that's some heat. It's like, God forbid you found to be black. And so I see a lot of African Americans out here every day who are attempting to not be found to be black, or frankly, don't even consider themselves black, to the extent that black is John Carlos and Tommy Smith in 1968. Black is Hunter and Narrative and Nubia and all those who we decide to communally identify with every day. There's some of us who ain't in that number. It's just some of us who ain't in that number. I no longer condemn them.
Are we able to have this conversation?
I don't vote for him either.
You don't vote for me, and that is important. And I want to have a larger conversation, and I'm going to figure out how I'm going to take the thread, because I want to weave it through a bunch of different pop culture topics right now. I'm glad we came into it politically, because there's this notion that black people only vote for black people.
Yes.
Or that, we'll vote for somebody that's black. And I'm going to see what happens in this, even with Mazi Phillips, putting her on the ballot is not necessarily good for the people who are black politically in Nassau County. Now, Nassau County is not overwhelmingly, well, unless you're talking about Hempstead or Freeport, or, like there's places in Nassau that are very black, that would be not served by this woman at all, who shares a skin tone. And I suspect if Tim Scott had become, as he is, a senator from South Carolina, I'm sure there's we can argue that. I'm not even going to do that. Let's put that to the side for a second, because I'm curious to know, because there's some people listening right now that don't identify as being black. There's some people with no melanin that are part of Nubia, that went to Egypt, that want to be, not just advocates, because we don't require advocacy or allyship. We need accomplices. We need folk that are going to be in them spaces, dismantling the power structures that are keeping us in bondage. If you have no melanin and you really are about, this life, get in them spaces and make sure you dismantle the strictures and the boundaries that keep us from being one, united, and, strong and powerful, and being America, right? Yeah. What the vision is. I'm curious, what do we do with a Candace Owens? All right, let's have a conversation. 866-801-8255. I feel a shift in this woman because she sees what I see. There's a shift. There's a nuanced shift.
In Candace Owens.
Incredible. I'm gonna play a clip. A clip. There is a lot of this. It's lucrative. We've talked about this before, Don Calloway and I. It's lucrative to be a black person who speaks the MAGA, and MAGA's a thing, speaks the MAGA, who's a Clayton Bigsby, or, what I'm saying? There's power in that. You can make a lot of money being a mediocre person who, or even a person that has no talent. But if you say the right things and you're black, it's like, yes, we're going to come. We'll buy your book. We'll show up to your events, because we need the black person to say the thing out loud, because not all of us are just going to say it. We'll say it behind closed doors. But if you say it, then it validates everything that we've been saying. So you got the Jason Whitlocks and the Larry Elders and the Jesse Lee Peterson, who can't put together two coherent sentences, but yet he has a whole ass talk show for a number of years. He can't talk, but y'all got him out there because he says the things that y'all want to hear him say. Y'all support that BS. And Candace Owens is a special thing, because she's been aligned with Kanye, who a lot of y'all love. So it's a wild thing, and this woman has walked a tightrope. And I watched this clip of hers, and I rarely play her. I don't think I've played her much on these airways in 10 years at all, because I feel like you validate people when you do that. Which is why there's certain people I will never have a conversation with. I don't need, it will be great ratings, and we'll have a Club Shay Shay moment.
But that ain't what we're here for. Yeah.
I'm never going to put us in that position. But she said something, Don, that I was like, she about to, I see it. I see what she doing. She playing double dutch with y'all, because she's not dumb. She's not a dumb person. And this is the only way she makes money. This is her commerce. She ain't got a job. This is her job.
This is her source of income. That's right.
So I want to play this clip, Smith, that I sent you. And I'm going to prove a point, because I feel like she's saying something that a lot of us will agree with. Play it.
Still waiting on my invitation to the Breakfast Club, but I appreciate the fact that Charlamagne Tha God is acknowledging.
Pause, miss. So before this clip, she's talking about Ice Spice, who let me get what her real name is, because I don't know this young lady at all. I mean, I know her. I've seen her in commercials, right? In the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, Ice Spice. I was like, where the hell she come from?
I got teenagers. That's the only reason I know who Ice Spice is. Yeah.
All right. She's from the Bronx. Her name is Isis Niger. So you got Nigeria and the goddess from Egypt in your name, ma'am. In your name. Gaston, Fordham Road. She was an underground rapper. Her mom is Dominican. Her dad is black. They both black. Stop it. So I'm gonna play a song that she was referencing before I play this clip. So when I play the clip again,
listener discretion is advised.
I'm gonna play Ice Spice's hit. It's called "Fart," by the way. So I was like, wait a minute. When that beat dropped, Don, I was like, oh shoot.
It's not a bad song. It's not terrible.
Now, but what are we responding to? The lyrics or the beat? Are we responding to the lyrics or the musicality? Because I know something, bitch. You ain't. Both. I'm the ish. You a fart or something.
I'm gonna say both. I'm gonna say both collectively add up to the notion that it's a little bop. You know what I'm saying? You know, not all of our music is gonna be high-minded and highbrow, and I think you and I are not of her generation. But as far as all the music I've heard that represents her generation and that genre of her generation, that's all right, you know. And I've heard a couple of other Ice Spice songs. She and Her Mood, all that jazz. She's not terrible. She's not terrible.
Is it she? Poor grammar. Is it she that's not terrible? Because it's music. So here's my one go-to. I teach about it. Little Nas X went on the internet. He was one of the Nicki Minaj, what they call them, Barbies.
Yes, he was
one of the Barbs. He was out there clapping back on behalf of Nicki Minaj. She obviously needed him during this last thing with Megan because it was disastrous. But he was one of them people, so he understood the Internet of Things and how to make things trend to go viral. Yes. He went in the little backdoor algorithms, typed in and figured out that Lil, L-I-L, Nas, greatest of all time, one of the greatest of all times, and X were three of the most searched words. Threw that together, put it in the pot, Lil Nas X, got a beat that algorithmically was the most sampled and played. And then we got a country song, which is the number one selling industry. And he put this damn thing together and took his horse to an old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more. Come on. I got a horse out in the back.
Yeah, and got one of their biggest stars to get on the remix.
Come on,
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Look, and the yodeling kid, that kid that yodels, and then brought a damn what you call it, a K-popper. I mean, it just threw everything in the pot and won. Okay,
I'm not mad at Lil Nas X.
I'm using him as an example of today. It's not about people who can open their mouths and sing. There's no Aretha or Whitney or Lauren. There's not, her. I'm gonna put her in a category because she's multifaceted and talented. Alicia Keys can play the piano. There are people that can do some things, right? But I'm talking this talent, Ice Spice. It could be your daughter could be Ice Spice over this beat. I'm just saying it doesn't require a whole lot, but being able to read, I guess maybe.
Well, I think that Ice Spice has a certain je ne sais quoi. There's a certain star quality there that I think that's kind of where it starts. Then there is an entirety of packaging that basically understands the algorithm of what appeals to humans. The sound, the look, the cadence, the actual words, all these things. And that's why you see, I don't know that Ice Spice is an extraordinary talent. I do know that
this is not the point. We're not litigating whether she is or not. You're missing again, and I feel like a lot of people who may pick up a clip on YouTube, they miss the nuance of this conversation. I'm not indicting Ice Spice, Little Nas X, or anything. I'm indicting the period that we're in, where people can be manufactured into being stars, right? Yeah. And we like them, and that is a bop. I'm saying that is a bop. That is a bop, but does it represent us? Right. And ultimately, I'm going to play this Candace Owens clip because I'm making a point that I think the majority of people who identify with being black, who are black revolutionaries and black power advocates, people that want reparations, I feel like they're going to agree with Candace Owens today. And I'm like, this is a wild time that we're in. And I need us to sit in it for a second and not be emotional about it, but really examine. This woman is doing a thing for commerce, Candace Owens. I also believe that in this particular clip, she believes what she's saying. This might be the realest version of this woman I have seen, because she's been parroting a lot of things that don't align with liberation for all. But she's hitting this note right now that I think is going to be her marching forward. All right. So let's finish the clip.
That, yes, this is a fall. Who is allowing it? These are the questions that we should be asking. Later on in that segment, Charlamagne says, well, this is the best art that Ice Spice can create. You know, she's 22, 23 years old. And I would just like to remind everybody, in case you forgot, what 18-year-old Black Americans were creating long before an Ice Spice came around. There was the music that I grew up on. There was Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill in the Sister Act was about 18 years old when she sang like this.
God of glory, Lord of love, hearts unfold like flowers.
That is the Black culture that I recognize. That is the sound of Black music that I recognize. And everything around us, again, not just Black culture, but in American culture, has been in a full, steep decline. We're all recognizing it. And now it's time for us to try to accurately identify who is sitting behind this, who wants to see America fall, because it is so obvious that that is the implicit goal here.
She's using Black culture. No, this is Don. Let me just put the phone number out, 866-801-8255. Who agrees with Candace Owens today? Who thinks
I'm not sure that I do. I'm not sure.
I'm asking a question. Don, of course. I'm asking the broader millions of people who are listening who agrees with what she just said. Don Calloway may not agree.
I do not agree. Look, Candace Owens is an articulate speaker of non-facts. And I think that we have to properly contextualize her from the beginning. This is not a substantive person. It is a person who has found a way to make herself occasionally, through her articulation, make sense. But let us be clear. The fall of American society, right, whatever she deems that to be, is not because of music, is not because of any type of cultural presentation, at least not coming from Black people. I'm old enough to have, I was not born at the beginning of rap, 1973. I'm born in 79. I am there at the beginning of when rap starts making it to mainstream radio waves. And let's be clear, my mama and daddy wasn't with it. They didn't like it. They didn't want to hear it. And I will also suggest that that didn't start with rap. Father, everybody tells us we wrong. Who are they to judge us simply because our hair is long? I don't know that anybody wanted to hear what Marvin Gaye had to say. I don't know that we're old enough to remember our grandparents, and some of us blessed enough to know our great-grandparents. They wasn't trying to hear no Funky Watusi. Chubby Checker was banned, right?
That's true. Yes.
So this is always, age looks with contempt at the temerity of youth, and youth with anger at the scrupulosity of age. And music is an openly overt artistic representation of that youth versus age time-old tension. And so what I don't need is a Candace Owens who openly and notoriously hates Black people, including herself, somehow using hip-hop and Ice Spice as a way to comment on the fall of the empire. I just don't, and I will say I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because I didn't hear Charlamagne's comments, so I can't fully.
It's irrelevant. Also, would have played it, but and again, I'm very intentional about what I play on these airways. No. But I'm saying which I'm not saying you miss it, because fundamentally I agree with you on everything that you said. But what I'm saying is, just like where we are right now with folk who are aligned with Donald Trump, not everybody has gone in and studied and understand why he resonates with them. They just know they like him and they're going to vote for him. Even if you give them a mound of facts about why they won't have teeth, health care, or their mamas in the future voting for him, they're still going to vote for him. And I'm saying Candace Owens struck a chord that I think resonates in a lot of us, which is that the demise of society starts with our acceptance of this kind of debaucherous behavior, right? 866-801-8255. And sometimes the messenger can redeem themselves by delivering them. I'm saying I feel like she's making a little bit of a shift that is super smart on her part if she's seeing where the world is going with this attack on diversity and inclusion, something that she actually sued for discrimination and went to NAACP. I mean, she actually has been a beneficiary of a lawsuit regarding discrimination. Like, I feel like there's a shift, and let's not focus on her as much as the message, because she's touching on something where you intellectually know that it's some BS that is behind it. I don't think it's a lot of people are going to look at it the way you're seeing it and going dismiss as much as they're like, oh, she's got a good point here. Huh.
But she doesn't. Generationally, we have always attacked the newer and younger artists.
This is not about, no, you telling me your booty hole pink, or whatever, is it booty hole and a coochie pink? What color is her booty hole? Is it brown? Is it brown or pink?
Quote my St. Louis sister, Sexy Red. My pussy pink, my booty hole brown.
Brown. Okay, thank you.
Listen,
I didn't know which was pink.
There is certain stuff. There is certain things and expressions that pass as art, that are debaucherous and unbecoming, and certainly Sexy Red falls into that category. But I don't know that it's worse than what is responsible for the fall of the America we knew and loved. You're
doing too much, sir. You are doing too much.
What is responsible?
Too many words.
Okay, I'll be brief. What is responsible for the fall? Is it Ice Spice and Sexy Red? Or is it the fact that I can walk into Giant and shoot up everybody in there, and no laws or policy will be changed the next day? Yes, all the above.
Yes.
Yeah, but Candace Owens isn't decrying those things.
I'm not. It's not about Candace Owens. Stop focusing on her. I'm only using people as avatars to have a larger conversation, period. She is not the issue. Ice Spice is not the issue. We're going to talk about Beyonce. She is not the issue. There's a larger issue that we, all of us, individually and collectively, need to sit with and determine moving forward. And number one, what do we stand for? Right? What do we stand for? Who represents us? Right? And what does leadership look like? And then what are the acts from those leaders?
Yes, but rap is youth culture. It always has been. Rock and roll.
It's not anymore. Not anymore
because you have 50 and 60-year-old rappers.
Correct.
But rap
who never grew up.
Rap is a young artist's game. That is objective.
Yes, it's not though. No, it's a corporate. It's always been a corporate game. Don Calloway. Now it is.
But when rap started,
we're not where rap. I'm sorry. We're not where. I'm sorry. We're not where rap started. Excuse me. I'm doing that Trump thing works. Excuse me. It's not where we started. It's where we are right now. Let's deal with where we are right now. Where we are right now is top down. Corporate is determining what we like and what we want, and they are shaping who we are.
Should Ice Spice be rapping about the tax code? Should Ice Spice be rapping about
No, you're missing the point.